Hi guys. Today I'm gonna make another layout for with some photos that I've had for quite a while, but just didn't know how to put the photos on a layout or how to decide which pictures I want to use, because I have a whole series of these, and I'm sure that you have some too. This is a beach photo where we went with my two cousins. This is just one of them, and we're barefoot in the water. And I have a ton of pictures that I just took to get the best ones. Then for several months I have been a member of Club Scrap's Kit Club, and in those you get these cutting guides to make quick layouts. And as you can see here on the pictures, it has this holds 6 pictures, and I figured that I could have the 6 big pictures and make some of the others smaller as an embellishment. The cool thing about these is that it says exactly what it needs, and I can see where it be lined. So for example, B and C, those are the photo mats, so I chose a solid color for those and pattern for the rest, and the base is solid too. So based on this is a beach photo, I wanted to have a base that was kind of bright, and I chose this aqua or teal or whatever it's called to get this 2-page layout. On top of that, I'm gonna have this orange piece of paper, which goes great with the teal because it's not a strong orange, it's kind of a subtle one. And do you remember this? I couldn't use it in my last project, or I didn't use it because I couldn't make it fit. But here I think it would be beautiful with these colors here. And since this is not a day picture, it's kind of at night, so I want it to be reflected on the page. It shouldn't be all bright and fun and clear colors. I wanted some more subtle because it is in the evening. For the photo mats, to brighten it up again, I chose this green color to really lift it up, and a brown to tone it down so it get a little bit of depth. And these are my basic papers, and I'm gonna try some embellishments on here. But first, I'm gonna cut the papers according to this cutting guide. The only thing is the photo mats. The photo mats that they have designed is a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So they met perfectly a 4 by 6 photo. But my picture is not 4 by 6. It's 4 by 5 1/4. So I just changed the measurements a little bit, and when I have an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of paper and is only going to need it, there can be 2 photo mats of 4 1/4 this way, and when it's 11 the long way, and I have it 5 1/2, that's perfect. So I could get 4 photo mats on one piece of paper, but I'm not going to use it. But then I just have a solid piece of paper to put in my scraps. So I'm gonna cut according to this and try to assemble a layout. So I hope you enjoy. What's cool about this cutting guide or assembling line is that you get the instruction for the cutting, and that just gives you a base to work with. At first here I'm just placing the papers and the photo mats exactly as shown on the instructions, but later on I'm actually going to change it up quite a bit. This is the second page, and I'm actually ending up using that as my first page because I think the wide orange piece in the middle, you can see I'm changing here in a bit after I align the photos. The wide orange piece in page number 2 here, I think just gives more movement to the second page, like that, because that just gives it a little bit more wholeness since it is a 2-picture spread. I'm also just playing around with the pictures, figuring out where I want which pictures, choosing my focal image, which is the one lowest in the left corner, and it has kind of an open space to itself, as you can see here. Here's some other photos that I'm just gonna trim to small pictures to add here at the bottom of this piece, and that's just to give some kind of movement and also show what is actually going on and what we're doing on this beach. There are some different running situations.
The next page also filling around with the papers and changing the color of the photo mats. Actually, I ended up deciding that the pictures where the kids are standing still is gonna have a brown background, which is more subtle and calm to look at, and the one that had actions like running or something, it's gonna get that light green one to show movement. So I just did that, and I'm still trying to figure out if I want them back, but I keep changing it. That's my page number 1. I just adhered the pictures and all of the pages, or all of the paper, and I'm gonna add these red strips at the bottom, and that's just another way to, first of all, lead your eye from the small pictures to the bigger ones, but also to show kind of the action that's going on in this segment, to give a little bit of movement. I'm just realigning everything so that it's straight, and because I like it straight. I'm gonna add 2 because that's kind of speed to me. I'm just adding those here. Next up, I'm gonna worry about a title, and I'm using my new slice machine. I'm using the Zootopia card, I believe it is, to spell out the word, because that's kind of a fun, funky font. And I wanted to say beach in Danish, and I'm cutting that in a red paper to match the red stripes that I just put on the bottom. I cut one out that was 2 inches, and I just took my paper, looked at it, and it was too big. So I'm trying again and making it 1/2 inch smaller, and there you go, that's perfect. So now I'm just gonna cut everything out and adhere that down to the paper, and you're not gonna see the entire thing because that's kind of boring. So here are all my letters, and I'm adhering it with foam tape. First of all, to add a little bit of dimension to the page, but also, actually, I noticed when I put them on that as soon as they're raised from the paper, it actually kind of looked like chipboard, the way that the shadow went, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, doing that to all of the letters. Here's another slice thing, and I'm gonna type the word fun in Danish, and I want that to be green. What you just saw before with the red S on the page is just to see the size, and that was perfect because I want the fun to be a bigger word down there. Here you can see I just cut out a orange piece of cardstock in a half circle. That I just gonna put under here to, first of all, I want the green word, the word fun, to be on top of that, to be anchored down to the page, but also to reflect more because it kind of got away at the bright blue in the back. Here I'm just trying to figure out what I want to add around it because I kind of wanted to make it look like a sun. First of all, I added orange to match the paper better, but also because it is, as I told you, an evening picture, and therefore orange is more sun-like. I have arranged the buttons how I want them, and this is how I'm going to adhere them. So I'm just going to adhere everything down as you see here. Here I have some scraps of paper in the new system that I just got, and it works great and I love it. So here are the blue ones, and I'm going to take a punch and punch 3 squares. That's to give a little bit of action, because in the second page, or actually both in the first and the second page, shows a lot of white space, that you would call it. Here I'm rounding the corners of all of them. I'm just doing it at the same time because it's kind of thin pattern paper. You can see where I line this is just to cover up some of that white space. So I add this as a contrasting color and more subtle color, and in each box in the lower right corner I write summer, the place, and the year. And here I'm just going to add a little bit of embellishment to them with these felt flowers. This is a tag that I want, first of all, to anchor the 2 pictures together, the 2 vertical ones, And I'm cutting off a little bit. It's a chipboard tag. I'm making it a little bit shorter, and I want it there, but I want it in another color. And I'm gonna find this green piece of polka dotted paper and adhere that down. You're just going to see me do that with a glue stick and adhere it to the paper, cut around it, and ink the edges. The reason why I choose to do this is, first of all, it gives me a place to journal. I don't have a lot of journaling because the photo says it all, but I still want to tell what it was actually we were doing with my sister and I watching the kids. Also, again, as I said, is to anchor the paper or the pictures together. Otherwise, it's just kind of three individual pieces on there. I've cut out the tag, and what I'm doing here is just for my scrap system. I want them all in squares because that's just easier for me, and I'll more likely use them if they're square than off sizes. I sand the edges just to adhere the edges down quite a bit, and I'm actually sanding a lot to get a white edge on there because I want to ink the edges, and I'm using some ink from Tim Holtz, a distress ink. First, I punched a hole with the crocodile and used a pen to smooth down the edges. And I brought back the crocodile because I wanted an eyelet in there so that you can see the hole that could kind of stand out. I'm trying different colors here, and it ended up with a kind of dark brownish color, one that came with the pack, and it's lovely. Just setting the crocodile to the right setting so that I can push it in, because the reason why I used the pen after the crocodile in the beginning was because the hole of the crocodile was too small for the hole of the tag. That way I can just push the rest in. So that's my tag, and I'm gonna add some journaling on there. I have measured this square piece of paper, put some lines on there so that I can write straight, because I can't do that if there's no lines. And I'm gonna erase the lines and round the corners. The rounded corners is also to complement the rounded squares on the other page, so that it's kind of goes through the entire page. Then I'm actually adhering it because I thought I want to put it on, but I hope you can see the tag is brown edges because I had inked them, and I want to do that to the paper too because that was kind of too clean to go directly onto the tag. And that's kind of hard when there's adhesive on the bag and then trying to move it around as much as I wanted to. So here's my tag, and that's how I want it. The bucket of flowers you can see is just because I'm trying out different elements to the page, and I ended up just with a subtle blue bling flower with green leaves to it, just to enhance that this is the focal point, that's where you start. I do that on the other page as well, but that's hard to see. This is my finished layout, and I actually love it because I got a ton of pictures on there, and this is still kind of a whole page. I hope you liked it, and thanks for watching. Bye.